Hei og velkommen til denne episoden som også vil være på engelsk. Jeg har igjen fått besøk av Joakim Walstad, som har både jobbet med og vært på en del ting som Tony Robbins har gjort og gjør. Så vi skal kikke litt nærmere på et av programmene som Tony Robbins gjør, og det er nettopp det programmet som ligger ute på Netflix som en dokumentar som heter I'm Not Your Guru. Og programmet heter Date with Destiny. Og for de som ikke vet det, så er jo Tony Robbins, eller hans egentlige navn, er jo Anthony J. Robbins faktisk. Født i 1960 i California. Veldig kjent for ulike selvhjelpsbøker og de her programmene. So, hi Joakim. You're here in episode 12 in my first season. So this is my second season actually. And when you were here next in episode 12, we talked about how much Tony Robbins and his programs have changed you. And today we are going to look into one of the programs that you have attended, namely Date with Destiny. And I really like the sentences under Date with Destiny. It says, rewire your mind, redesign your life. Was it like this for you, Joakim?
Great question. And first and foremost, congratulations on your second season of your podcast. And thanks for inviting me back. Really appreciate that. Yeah. What did you say the sentences from the webpage was? Rewire your brain and...
Rewire your mind and redesign your life.
Yeah, rewire your mind and redesign your life. Yeah, studying with learning from Tony Robbins, and not just studying, but implementing it and living it, the principles that we learned, and especially Date with Destiny. And Date with Destiny in particular have had a profound effect on my life in terms of finding more fulfillment and designing more deep and meaningful relationships. And again, this is an event, and it's all about a journey. And yes, coming back to the material, like taking this with me into my everyday life to really implement it and live by the principles. Yeah, it have had a profound effect. So I'm very grateful that Tony Robbins actually show up to share his knowledge and his wisdom and give it all during this 6-day event, which Date with Destiny is, to support the participants there to break through.
Yeah, because he's talking several times about we accepted the ones that were handed out to us about beliefs, values, rules, control, and how you think, feel, and behave. So he's talking about that we just accepted what others tells us, and he wants us to think for ourselves.
Yeah, and what you're saying now is the essence of the program. It's getting this awareness, this consciousness to really make decisions how we want our life to be able to be aware of what are our driving forces and kind of the force that guides us in life. And it comes down to some of these things that you mentioned, and mainly the values. What are the values that we want to have that's going to guide us? It's kind of like a compass that you steer after. It's kind of what you want to be known for and stand for, and to make it really tangible, or maybe not tangible in a way, but we could also say that values are an emotional state. So it's becoming really clear about what are those values that you want to shape your life. And by working on this, going through the event, the participants, when you come there, you get tools and techniques. You get, yeah, these applicable things that you can use, so you really get that awareness, that consciousness. So as you say, Thor-Erik, that you can really choose to make actions, which we would also call like vehicles in your everyday life, that make sure that you live by these values. So you get to have an more like an impact on really designing that life that you want to live. Now, we can't control everything that happens around us. Like, we're all engaging with all kind of people, and we have no control of how the other party is gonna react in any moment. However, we always get to choose how we want to react, and that are what.
Yeah, because that's something he is talking about. You have to take part of what you can do and what you can control.
Yes.
And as you said, it's a program over 6 days. So maybe it's a bit easier to talk about each day, because you have day one is so-called preparation day.
I believe
And
so. Yeah.
and yeah, and in the website it's talking about discover the powerful forces inside you that shape every single decision in your life. And you have to try to understand what drives you, for example.
Yeah.
And I remember he had a question. Raise your hand, everyone here in the audience. I think it was 5 or 6,000 people or something. And he said, who has thought about suicide? And a lot of people were raising, and he went down to one guy, a young guy,
Like
and he
us.
said, what?
I just say, yeah, you said young guys like us.
Yeah, like us. Thank you. But this guy has sneakers, red sneakers. And he said, why do you want to commit suicide? Is it because of the sneakers? And he was really shaking, because yeah, his mind was blown, because he was my sneakers. I thought we should talk about my suicide thoughts and why I'm thinking this, but it was just shaking him up, so he could start think, maybe for the first time, a bit outside the box. What do you think?
Yeah, you're definitely hitting the nail on the head there. Before we go into that, you mentioned briefly I've been on one previous episode in your podcast. I just wondered if this is the first time maybe someone listens to me, or like get to meet me. Maybe I should tell a little bit about myself. What do you think, Troy?
I think that will be a good idea.
Cool. Yeah. So I've been with the armed forces for 10 years. Also did the officers education there, and that was like that really kind of started the journey of personal development and getting to know myself even better, because you get to work under conditions, yeah, where you get to realize how you behave and react. You also get a lot of feedback on how your behavior impact others, and you get a lot of tools in that sense to be aware and more conscious of how we show up. And to Tony Robbins, all the experience and eventually discovering him, because there have been times in my life where like I understood that things have to change in order for me to experience the kind of life that I want, more of the emotions that I want, like joy, happiness, and yeah, kind of being tired of some other more disempowering states. Maybe it's like that sadness, boredom, loneliness. So it was the summer 2020. I attended my first Tony Robbins event, and attending all the events that he offered with Date with Destiny is what we're talking about now. All start with Unleash the Power Within, and you also have a Life Mastery, Wealth Mastery, and also doing his leadership education. And now this summer I got the pleasure of being invited to become a senior leader with this organization. That also helps me in the business and everyday life. So yeah, we can have an even bigger impact on the people that we get to touch and work with. And back to your question with what you said, this guy, he raised his hand on the question of, will you have had suicide thoughts?
Yeah.
And Tony starts the interaction with this young guy, and Tony notices, as you said, his red sneakers, the red shoes. And is it because you're red sneakers that you want to commit suicide? And totally, as you said, is to get him out of the box, to think about something else. Because whatever we experience in any moment, the emotion that we have and the experience we have in any moment comes down to a result of three things. What we do with our body. So you can just imagine if you are sad, like what are you doing? Most people would probably like crunch your shoulders over, head comes down, maybe you breathe shallowly instead of deeply. Where do you put your focus? The second component. Maybe you start focusing on everything that doesn't work. That we focus on other people. Like, why did they do this to me? And why do I have to go through this? Such things. And then the third component, the language. Like, what are we telling ourselves? What are the words we use? Because it's a total different experience of saying, for example, yeah, if something happens, maybe something unexpected happens, and you say, this is terrible, compared to, this is interesting. I will give different experiences in the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Totally.
So yeah, with Tony Robbins, get this guy, the guy with the suicide thoughts, to focus on his shoes instead. Yeah, he gets to focus on something totally different. Maybe he does something different with his body as well suddenly, because yeah, instead of I can't remember exact things like he were doing moment, but suddenly he has to look down, he has to focus on something else, and Tony changes the topic of the conversation, and suddenly you kind of create that scotoma, like that vacuum. You kind of open a door of opportunity that these participants now get invited to jump through that window of opportunity to, get out of that disempowering state.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the big things he was doing, because a lot of people raised their hands when he was asking different kind of questions. And they were telling something, and he was quite tough. He said, no, that's not the issue. That's not why. That's not why you are like this, or that's not why you are like this. It's something else behind. And suddenly, instead of trying to get control of her life, or trying to get something out of her life, she was talking about her father, and that the father was narcotics and alcoholic, and she you have to start there, he said, with acceptance of, you have to accept him, not blame him, because everyone blames him. Don't blame him. Accept him for what he is. He's trying his best. So the shift was quite emotional and quite up to the day when you were looking at it. You saw a totally shift when he was saying like this.
Yeah.
So and I think, I think it's very important to get down to the bottom.
Yeah, and one thing you mentioned there from that I'm Not Your Guru documentary, which is available on Netflix. If any one of you who listen to this want to watch that, you find it on Netflix. It's I'm Not Your Guru. And yes, as you said, Thor-Erik, it's in terms of having the ability to influence people, and not because we want to manipulate them in any way in like a negative sense, but we want to have an open, honest interaction and understand people and build a deep, meaningful relationship. And in that way, like when we come from a place where we want to form that relationship, we have to let go of that blaming, of that judging, because
Yeah.
in a moment we judge or blame someone, we lose all the opportunity to influence them. That's
Yeah, and it holds you back because you can't go forward if you're blaming
yeah,
them for something. You have to go forward,
and it can,
and we also saw that it is 6 long days. They are working with worksheets and workbooks and everything.
not just the workbooks and shapes, but also like physically. Not that you are out for a hike, but you, if you want to play full out at these events, you really engage your body as well, because
Yeah.
that's when you like get emotional learning. You move it from the intellectual part to really get it into your body, and that's why it sticks as well, even after the events. Why this is so powerful.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about day one?
Yeah, Discovery Day. Before let's see if something comes to my mind. What you say with blaming in terms of that stops us moving forward.
Yeah.
Just so something quickly that came to my mind was is this exercise that if you point at someone with your index finger, you point at them, and what I usually want to remind myself of is how many fingers are pointing back.
Yeah.
So that's a tool we can take with us as well in terms of that. So yeah, back to Date with Destiny and Discovery Day. It's about yeah, getting it's getting awareness and consciousness of where am I like right now in my life, what has been important to my life right now, what are some things that I value the most, that I'm working for, who matters, and yeah, it's getting that awareness of yeah, why am I where I am right now in my life.
Yeah, because that is day 3. Because you work preparation day, day 1, and you have evaluation day, which is day 2. So you evaluate, and
Yes.
then he is talking about you evaluate the true source of your behavior. Why are you behaving like this? What is the true source of it?
Yeah.
And then we
it's
come for the discovery day, because then you have like doing an evaluation of yourself, and then you are ready to start.
yeah,
Then you
yeah,
are ready to discover
yeah,
on day 3.
yeah. With the danger of mixing these days up a little bit.
Yeah, of
But
course.
the part of getting this awareness, yes, is as you say, it's getting down to the essence, and it comes back to working on our values and our beliefs. So you as a participant, you get to be taken through a very powerful exercise that will give you that deep understanding, get you very clear on why is your life the way it's been up until now. So you get to see that you can put yourself in a position, so for the later days, where you get invited, if you want, to maybe make some changes so that you can, yeah, get to shape the life even more consciously, like the way you want it to be, to make even more often decisions gonna put you on the trajectory to where you want to go, to experience one of those things that you want to experience.
Yeah.
And
And day 4, it's about goal setting and relationship day.
yeah,
And he
that's
was,
an amazing day.
yeah, he was asked about that. Why did you put in relationship? And he said something about you have to prepare also when you are in a relationship, you have to prepare the other person for all the things which is going on. And he's talking about create a vision map for the next 12, 24, 36 months. So you start to set up goals, what you want to achieve for the next. You can do it all. He said 36 months.
Yeah. So yeah, relationships is a really powerful day, and Tony gets to work with both persons who are single or looking for the love in their life, whether that is man looking for woman, vice versa, man looking for man, woman for woman, doesn't matter. He gets to work with some single people. He works with some couples, and it's all about getting this awareness of what kind of behavior, actions, what kind of beliefs, kind of values, or maybe for many create some friction that kind of rob them for that relationship that they really want. And again, to add upon what we just talked about a little bit earlier with blaming, is this also gratitude, appreciating what is there, appreciating the other. And with all this understanding that you have gotten going through the event so far, because with the relationship day, we are now on day 4 in the event.
Yeah.
And then we have a lot of understanding of why is my life the way it is, like what has been my compass guiding me so far. And you started the process of mapping out, maybe you want to design a new compass, maybe you want to have some new values, beliefs. And we can take this with us into the relationship as well to see and understand why the relationship is the way it is. And it's not necessarily intimate relationships like with a love partner, but this could be with siblings, with close friends, or business partners, because it's the same principle. So what kind of beliefs, what kind of values do we bring into that? Who do we show up as? Because that's often the key here. Again, like how many fingers are pointing back.
Yeah. Yeah, because I really like one sentence he put into the relationship day, goal setting day. He's saying, understanding what drives your relationships at the deepest level and uncover the simple tools you need to create lasting passion and love. And just in that one sentence, I think this should be something for everyone who get into a relationship, because you're getting into a relationship without no guidance, no compass. So this is maybe something everyone needs at some point.
It can help us getting more awareness of basically who do you want to show up as. And you mentioned a vision map as well, to really get these communication tools so that you can create that love, you can create that passion that you want in their relationship. Recently I had the pleasure of working with a guy, and he shared the experience that in terms of the discussions with his wife of how to raise their kids, most of these conversations always ended in friction. And I got to learn that with this man, it usually played out. So he was telling me, because I come to this conversation open and curious to learn like what's going on. So just to get this perspective, to understand if can I offer him some ways. So giving him some tools so he can really experience that love more often than he wants with his wife, instead of having the discussion about raising their child, and they get to have like this friction for the next couple of days because something haven't been cleared out of the air. So I got to learn that this man usually listen to the wife, and the wife tells what happened, and he's like, okay, I see you did this, but it should have been done this way. This is the right way. And then you kind of get the judgment, use of words such as like but, which is kind of hard and kind of telling in between the lines, you're wrong, I'm right. And just giving this awareness allowed him to like have breakthroughs, and also giving him some additional communication tools. And he said that So this happened maybe a month ago, and since, yeah, they haven't been fighting on how to raise their kids. So it's beautiful how this
Yeah.
awareness can create massive shifts.
Yeah, because I think that's a friction in a lot of relationships, how to raise up your kids. So I think, yeah.
I
If,
just
if
want to say as well, like it might sound when you're sitting and listening to this, like maybe something like maybe like what a jerk, or can't he see that he's doing that? And here's the thing, like we all have our habits and things
Yeah.
that we just get used to doing, and it can get really hard to observe that for yourself. I have my habits of doing things, and yeah, we all got.
and habits are not that easy to change. And sometimes you don't want to change them, and sometimes you see that, okay, I have to change my habits.
When
Uh,
it comes to getting enough reasons why to change them, and when
yeah,
it's possible.
yeah. If we go back to the days, day 5, transformation day.
Yeah,
What's going on that day?
that's a good question. What's going on Transformation Day? I'm not sure if I was just having day 6 in my mind, trying to go back on Transformation Day. It's most likely the day, because we're coming to the end, and you're probably going to talk about the last day very soon. But in order to
Yep.
get to the last day, the participants, you get to really sit down and design your new life, and it's about these values, designing that, and you also get invited to be really clear on like what's the purpose in your life. So it's a really cool, powerful process of really like creating that map that's gonna guide you moving
Yeah.
forward, so that you're really clear on what are the value, what are the values, what is like going to impact your life, what do you want to experience on a consistent basis, and you also get tools to make it easy for yourself to experience this very, very often. So this is like the essence of day 5 Transformation Day.
Yeah, because you're making a kind of a vision board, because on this day you're starting to redesigning your life.
Yeah,
So you're creating a vision board about who am I, what kind of person do I want to be,
yeah. So
and
we call
sorry.
it like we actually call it like a destiny board. So one part of it will kind of be like a vision for the relationship, and this is something that you're gonna have with you for every day, that it's gonna be profound for having a profound impact on your life moving forward. Yeah, so it's a destiny board with what's that like guiding force is gonna be for you, so you can remind yourself of how easy you can make it for yourself.
Yeah, and
Living.
I think we have to tell all the listeners that you're not just sitting on your chair and working with this on your own. You are divided into different groups, and every group has a person who is kind of on the job for Tony Robbins to help you.
Yeah, so it's true. Yeah, the participants, when you come to a Tony Robbins event, you get divided into a team, and depending on the event, so with Date with Destiny, it's typically between 50 and 70 other people in your team, and you work closely with these people. So you have massive support from your fellow participants, because you get to create this beautiful atmosphere where everyone supports each other. You get feedback. If you have questions, you can ask the participants. You also get to see like what the kind of spice they add to their mix, and you
Yeah.
can get some new ideas and inspiration from them. You help each other out, and you get to form great connections with these people as well that can last even beyond the event. I've seen some groups that are very active in terms of meeting and supporting each other. So that's just like added value for yourself by playing full out, by engaging, as you say. not just sitting down taking notes, but like me, I'm standing up for this interview because I want to give it the most for to serve your audience, and it's easier for me to like bring the best when I'm standing up. And the
Yeah.
same at an event. Like stand up, play full out. When Tony says raise your hand, raise your hand. And as Tony encouraged as well, like take notes as you were going to learn it, because you do something physical with your body. And yeah, there are a lot of also some experts on like physical movement to help you deal with even like chronic pains that people get can get rid of as well through some exercises. So you're in the best possible condition. So yeah, it's a playing full out environment. And as you said, there is also a trainer in the room. So
Mm.
there's always a facilitator, a speaker on stage delivering the content. And with your room, with your team, there's also a trainer that's available there during breaks, also during the session to answer questions in the chat, but also in the breaks that has like the overall responsibility to be there to support you. And the trainer has some what should we call them, like right hand close people that's there as well to support the participants that are us, the senior leaders. So we're
Mm.
there supporting the participants, making sure that yeah, you overcome any obstacle that you might face, get clarity on matters. So yeah, there's a lot of support. And I was at Date with Destiny in December, and what came to my mind is this beautiful experience of was a guy in his 50s, and he had been planning to take his life for 12 years. And he said, as a result of being here at Date with Destiny for the first time in his life, he felt inner peace.
Hmm.
That's the magic, that's the beauty of this.
Yeah. Yeah, really. And then you, because then you have this, and then you come to the last day, integration day, where you have to integrate everything you have been working on for the last day and integrate it into your daily life and what's coming after the destiny and after the workouts.
Yeah, and it's on day 6 that, like for me, I'm a native Norwegian, and so English is a second language to me. And I'm not sure at what point, but it took some while before like actually like the name of the event. I kind of realized what it really meant. Like I understand the verbs, but like what does it mean to have a date with destiny? Like what does that mean? And on day 6, it's like you as a participant, you get to go through a exercise that's like gonna lock this in, that gonna make sure that you remember this, you really get it into your body, so you can make it so easy for you to live by this. It's an exercise where a lot of participants have breakthroughs. So yeah, if you think you didn't have any breakthroughs up until then, yeah, this is definitely a time where many people like they get on fire because yeah, they say the impact is gonna have what they've been working on for the past 5.5 days. Then, because we're on the last part of the event, the last stretch, and it's so much magic, so much beauty, so much power, fire going on, with people getting excited to what comes beyond the event as well. And I know
Yeah,
you.
I think he said something about that on maybe at the end of day 3 or something. He said that if you don't have a breakthrough yet and see all the other people around you having breakthroughs, it's coming.
Yes.
Don't get stressed. Your breakthrough is coming.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were then looking around and nodding, and yeah, I hadn't had a breakthrough yet, but okay. When he's saying that, because you can have a breakthrough on day 1, and you
Yes.
can have it on day 5. So yeah, I think that was one of the things he did to make sure that you weren't that stressed.
Yes. Definitely. Definitely. And in terms of seeing the impact this will have after the event as well, I know you, not sure if you want to go into that now, but I know you came across the research that we done on Tony Robbins' impact as well. That really has a powerful impact on people's life. Not sure if that's something you want to talk about, but the science of TonyRobbins.com.
Yeah, I want to take that into about in the end. We are about in the end now, and a lot of people are saying that, okay, you go into a training for 1 day or 6 days or something, and when you go back, it's all the same. And you are an example of being into this training and live by the training every day. And I think it's important for all the listeners to understand that you are not, sorry Joakim, but you are not alone about having this training, and it sort of shift your whole life and your whole beliefs. What is telling us actually, rewire your mind and redesign your life. So a lot of people have talked about this, and he had a scientist from Stanford University look into the date with destiny. Is it making any difference, or are people the same? And now I have to read, because it's some things we have to make sure that it's the correct things coming out. And he was talking about remission from depression. And 100% of study participants who were depressed before they went to Date with Destiny were in remission 30 days after the event. And the average improvement was 87.2%. So that's actually fantastic numbers.
Yeah, especially when you look at what's compared to. I'm not sure if you have those numbers there. Do you?
No?
Yeah, so 100% of the people going through Date with Destiny are like having profound impact with moving forward, shifting their life, compared to 54% who have I'm not sure if I can pronounce this word, but psilocybin. Oh, I'm not sure if I can. Some kind of assisted therapy that people go through. 54%. Sorry, my English came too short there. And compared to 40% who had drug therapy.
Yeah.
So 40 and 54% with a drug or assisted therapy, but 100% of the people going through Date with Destiny. And it's because, as you said, this guy that we opened with that has these suicide thoughts, and Tony asked if it's his red sneakers or shoes that is the reason for these thoughts. And it's about really radical shifts to put your focus elsewhere, understanding that whatever you experience in any moment is a result of what you do with your body, where you put your focus, and what you are saying, what you're telling yourself. So with getting this conscious awareness of what is guiding your life, we can, in our everyday life, make those conscious decisions of what do I want to do right now to really experience what I want to experience in my life. So some people, they find connection with themselves through alcohol, and others, they find connection by going out talking to people. They get to feel emotions as a result of interaction. Many people find that it's more empowering, give a more fulfilled life, to go out, hang with others, instead of sitting home and connecting with oneself with the bottle.
Yeah, because the next thing they find out was that 50% increase in life satisfaction. They are happier and more satisfied in life. And he said that study participants experienced a 50% increase in positive emotions like life satisfaction, inner strength, and well-being, while also reporting a 70% decrease in negative emotions like loneliness, sadness, anger, stress, and anxiety.
And it comes down to some things we've been through already. There's some additional things you will learn at the event, some things we talked about. It's all about this getting the focus on appreciation, being grateful.
Yeah.
It's about being aware of what actions do you take that give you the emotions you want to experience. Like, are you so when you're conscious about this, you can choose the vehicles, you can choose to do things that are gonna give you that fulfilled life. And one thing that I believe is shared in maybe it's the teaser, like the trailer of Date with Destiny. If you go on the webpage to look at this as well, that it's also giving things an empowering meaning. Like it's all about like kind of where do we put our focus? So if we something happens, kind of instead of asking why is this happening to me, it's how can what can I learn from this, or what can I experience as a result of this? So an example of that is like on this New Year's Eve, I was supposed to have guests over for dinner, but there was sickness, so I couldn't have the guests over. So it ended up, okay, I ate dinner alone, and then I could choose, should I sit at home? I could. Maybe I could give that meaning. That would be boring. It would be lonely. It's like New Year's Eve. Most people out. I'm used to be with someone as well. So it was actually a person that's working in a company, one of the clients of ours in our business, and we're doing coaching and mentoring in terms of communication in that business. And one of the persons there said this belief that anytime I go out, I know I will meet and get to know somebody. Not that they meet someone they know from before, but I will meet a stranger and I will be able to connect and have fun with them. That's a belief that that person have. Anytime I go out, I will be able to connect with someone. And that just struck my mind because I know that, okay, I get to choose how this evening will play out. I can do something with my body, for example, go out, and I can put my focus and adapt, model that belief. If I go out, I will be able to find someone else who is celebrating New Year's Eve and have a great time. And you bet it happened. It was a heck of a night.
Yeah, I was earlier today, I was talking to 60, 70, 10th graders, and they had a lot of questions about what's going on at high school upper level, because they are now going to try to find out which school and everything. So it's a bit scary. And one of the questions was, how do we get friends?
Yeah. Don't ask me.
and I said that, well, it's quite easy. Just talk to them.
Yeah.
That was
That's
my
beautiful.
answer.
Yeah.
Talk to them, and be open. Be
That's,
open-minded. Talk to them and smile.
yeah. It's beautiful. It's that being curious and open instead
Yeah,
of judging them
yeah,
in advance, putting some beliefs on them, putting them in a certain group, but come to them in an open spirit and be
yeah.
curious.
I will put out links to the different things we are talking about at my page, mentorguru.info. So the listeners can go in there and look and see. You said they had a small video there, and they can look at this, the different days. They can look at the research from Stanford University. Um, and I think a lot of the listeners are thinking, how is it possible to use 6 days just on yourself? because I'm I'm trying to look into meditation, and one of the things they are talking about is that you almost never stop in this wheel of life. It's it's very seldom you stop and think, evaluate, and look for, okay, what are we going to do next? So maybe a lot of people are thinking 6 days just on me. I have family, or I have a relationship, I have a job. What do you recommend? What did you think when you saw this online and started to think about, this could be interesting. How can this fit into my life? How did you think?
Great question. And for me, it was a no-brainer. I got to learn about Date with Destiny at the event Unleash the Power Within, and just seeing the impact Unleash the Power Within have had on my life. I don't know when they introduced us to the event, whether it was on the second or third or fourth day, can't really remember. But just after attending a few days with Tony Robbins at Unleash the Power Within, seeing the impact just these few days have had, because that was the first time I fully immersed at an event. I heard an audiobook before that was, and saw him speak as a keynote speaker. That's like how I got the ticket to the event. But other than that, not had any like full immersion experience with them. So I got so many tools and things that I could apply, and that really gave me like new hope and tools I could take with me back in my everyday life already from that event, Unleash the Power Within, to apply. And it gave me many of like it just gave me such more empowerment that I could already then start to make decisions to impact my life in a more empowering way, to show up in a way that would give me these kind of connections, as you say. Because anytime you're gonna connect with a stranger, the first words, the first sentence is always gonna feel like dull or strange in a way. We all experience that, at least I do, and I bet most as well. Like, it feels a little bit awkward, but after you have a smile and after first sentence is done, it will flow. If you're curious, if you're open, you will be able to form that connection. So that's like just one thing of where do you put your focus. So for me, it was this: okay, I'm definitely gonna go to that event. And with anything in life, it all comes back to the reasons why. If you have enough reasons why to do anything, you will be able to do it. It's never a matter of like resources or like ability. It's never a matter of ability. It's always about this resourcefulness. Like, can you come up with the reasons why doing it? And so, for example, spending 6 days on yourself. Would anyone who listen here be willing to spend maybe 6 days watching Netflix? And please get me, I'm not judging you. Like, I learned a lot watching great stories on Netflix as well, like understanding like and picking up great communication things, and it's entertaining and you get to have a great time. And I bet that 6 days on Netflix would give you something. That's why somebody's willing to decide to sit 6 days and binge and watch Netflix back to back.
Yeah. And he has different kind of programs, and the one you talked about is Unleash the Power Within, and that's a 4 days.
Yeah.
So, and I think that is some of the most important things for you, and that is to put aside, even if it's 4 days, if it's 6 days, stay in these days and do the work and think about yourself, because you are going to be a better man, a better woman when you come out. And I think it's very important for everyone to try to kind of stop. stop the world and think about how long have I come, what have I been doing, what do I want to change, if something. I see also that Stanford has done a research about unleash the power within. So this will also see on the links. But maybe some of the listeners now are thinking, okay, this could be very interesting, but too expensive to go to America. Do you think he will come back to Europe, or do you think he will come to Norway?
What I know for sure, what's great is that you get to attend these events from your very own home. You get the best seats because you can also attend virtually at all his events. So all you need is your laptop, your iPad, whatever that is, and an internet connection, and you can do it from anywhere. So that is the beauty of modern technology. And for me as well, something I've realized is if you feel that life has something more to offer, maybe life is not quite where you want it to be, maybe you want to have even more passion in the relationship, maybe you just want to be a little bit more, do even more, maybe it's serve even more, anything. I found also that ignorance is more expensive than investing in ourselves.
Very good point, Joakim. Very good point. Is there something you want to add now we are in the end? Is there something you want to add that you haven't been telling us? We have been talking for quite some while now, but
I guess we could spend 6 days together if we
yeah,
share
maybe.
everything I haven't told you. No, I just want to encourage everyone who listens to this to, as Tony Robbins would say, make your life a masterpiece. Go out and be the best version of yourself. And I hope that each one of you who listen to this make a decision to, yeah, to do actions that would empower you and others around you in the most powerful way. And I found through my experience that what we don't know, we don't know. And it comes back to these habits that we have. We could call them blind spots. Can be, if you don't know about these things or why life is the way it is, like to get a new perspective, a deeper understanding, so we really can get practical tools to shape our life moving forward, so you can shape your life moving forward, you who listens. I highly encourage checking it out for yourself and see and take part of that magic. So yeah, you can make your life a truly masterpiece because you really deserve that.
Yeah, because it's not only for people who are broken. It can just be people who wants to do something more, achieve more maybe, or get some guidance. So
Yeah,
it's a program for everyone.
that's true. It's gonna
It's
be
important.
maybe maybe you're a father feeling you're not quite doing what you want with your children. Maybe it's a wife who wants to ignite passion again in the relationship, and bring your other partner, bring the significant other, so you can do this together. Maybe you're a business owner and you want to take the business to the next level, or you want your team to work even better together. And it's been at these events, it's, yeah, we've been talking about suicidal people, but it's all kind of people. It's people as you and I, everyday people. There are business people, employed people. There are famous people, and I'm not gonna mention names because what happens at Date with Destiny stays a Date with Destiny, and that's the beauty of being a team as well. It's this confidentiality. So what shared there stays there. But there are people, yeah, that also just feels life has more to offer. Not looking for what could that be because they haven't been able to quite figure that out on their own.
Yeah, I think that will be some good advice in the end here. You said if you want to bring your company to the next level, but also if you want to bring yourself to the next level. Date with Destiny will help you and give you tools.
Yes, because in the end, whether okay in your personal life, it might be even clearer. It's okay working on yourself, relationships, how do we interact, how do we show up, and in business as well. It comes back to we're working with people. There's always a customer or maybe a business partner that has certain needs that we can fulfill, and we show up in these interactions. So Date with Destiny can help us. And yeah, if people are seeking any guidance as well, or yeah, want to get to experience even more of life as well, like I'm in a position to do coaching as well, so people can reach out. You can probably find me through you or just search me up as well, Joakim Walstad with a WALSTAD. And yeah, it comes back to make your life a masterpiece.
Thank you very much for this. Make your life a masterpiece. Thank you very much, Joachim, and thank you for yet being here. Maybe we'll see you again.
Who
But
knows?
this is season two, and I think it will be a great year. 2023, it will be a great year. Thank you very much.
Yeah, 2023, it's in me. Thanks for having me, Thor-Erik. Stay happy, stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.